Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Berkeley County Board of Education meeting this Tuesday, March the 22nd, 2016. Call this meeting to order, and I declare a quorum is present. The media has been notified. Do I have a motion for the approval of the agenda?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the agenda. It's been seconded. Is there any discussion? Don't have to look very far on the right tonight. Then at this time, we'll take a vote. All of those in favor of the motion to approve the agenda, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. At this time, would we all please stand for the opening prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance? Our Father, who art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of March the 8th, 2016?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the minutes of the regular meeting, March 8th, 2016.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of March the 8th, 2016. It's been seconded. Is there any discussion? Then at this time, we'll take a vote. All of those in favor of this motion, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Moving on to agenda item 5, the approval of the February 2016 Head Start Budget Expenditures Report, the February 2016 Head Start Credit Card Report, and the prospective new hires. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I make the motion we approve the February 2016 Head Start information as presented in agenda item 5.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the February 2016 Head Start information as presented in agenda item 5. Any discussion? All of those in favor of this motion then respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. At this time, we move to agenda item number 6, the Legacy Builders, Special Recognition, the Palmetto Gold and Silver Awards, and the Certified Athletic Trainers National Athletic Training Month. Amy.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Superintendent Blackburn, ladies and gentlemen of the board, and all of you who have joined us this evening. Tonight, we'd like to recognize 2 sets of individuals, the first being principals of Palmetto Gold and/or Silver Award-winning schools. The criteria and procedures for selecting schools to receive the Gold and Silver Awards were developed by the Education Oversight Committee in December of 2008. Palmetto Gold and Silver Awards are established for general performance and for closing the achievement gap. Excuse me. To identify schools, elementary, middle, high, and career centers, the school report card, absolute and growth ratings, and indices are used. To identify elementary and middle schools to receive awards for closing the achievement gap, pass and aspire end-of-year performances, as well as growth in performance on pass by students belonging to historically underachieving groups are used. To identify high schools to receive the gap closing awards, on-time high school graduation rates of students belonging to historically underachieving groups, are used. Now that you have some information, some background information about the awards and the criteria, I'd like to invite Chairman Hayes and Superintendent Blackburn down to this area for photos. Okay, so we have all of the principals of these schools here with us tonight, And so what I'd like to do, as your name and your school is called, would you please come forward and take your individual picture with Superintendent Blackburn and Mr. Hayes, and then step to the back area here. And then at the end, we'll get a group photo. Okay? Okay. So Berkeley High School Principal Stephen Steele, General Performance Gold Award. Make sure you stay in back. Berkeley Intermediate Principal Mike Shaw, General Performance Silver Award and Closing the Achievement Gap Silver Award. Cainhoy Elementary Middle, Interim Principal Cassandra Jennings, General Performance Silver Award. They also received the General Performance Silver Award for the middle. Cane Bay Elementary Principal Melissa LaBerge, General Performance Gold Award and Closing the Achievement Gap Silver Award. Cane Bay High School Principal Lee Westbury, General Performance Gold Award and Closing the Achievement Gap Gold Award. College Park Elementary Principal Amanda Prince, Closing the Achievement Gap Silver Award. Daniel Island School Principal Marty French, General Performance Gold Award. Twice over. Hanahan Elementary School Principal Tom Sparkman, General Performance Gold Award. Hanahan High School Principal Rick Raycroft, General Performance Gold Award. Hanahan Middle School Principal Robin Rogers, General Performance Gold Award. Howe Hall Ames Principal Chris Swetke, General Performance Gold Award and Closing the Achievement Gap Silver Award. Macedonia Middle School Principal Don Walton, General Performance Gold Award and Closing the Achievement Gap Silver Award. Marrington Elementary School Principal Jennifer Thielman, General Performance Gold Award and Closing the Achievement Gap Silver Award. Marrington Middle School of the Arts Principal James Spencer, General Performance Gold Award. Sedgefield Intermediate School, Principal Creighton Creighton Eddings, General Performance Silver Award, and Closing the Achievement Gap Silver Award. Stratford High School, Principal Heather Taylor, General Performance Gold Award. St. Stephen Elementary School, Principal Norton, General Performance Silver Award. And last but not least, Westview Middle School, Principal Sharon Perry, General Performance Gold Award and Closing the Achievement Gap Silver Award. Now we can all get back together? Okay. Now can we all get everyone to come back this way for the group photo?
Just 3 rows, one on top, one in the middle, one on the floor. You're all educators, so it's like using it ready to go by height. I'll let you do that.
I knew I heard they were educators, right? Nice try.
That way. Alright, if you will all look at me, 1, 2, 3. And 1 second, Mr. Davis, will move your fingers. Thank you, I appreciate you all. 1, 2, 3. Alright, I'm good. Congratulations.
At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Charlie Davis to the mic to recognize the certified athletic trainers throughout the district for National Athletic Training Month.
Thank you, Chairman Hayes, Superintendent Blackburn, and all board members. It's my pleasure tonight to recognize the athletic trainers for our schools in the Berkeley County School District. This is National Athletic Training Month. For those of you who don't know, I have many opportunities to speak with parents, not only of athletes, but other students. And the number one thing we discuss first is the safety factor in all of our schools. These guys that we recognize tonight are major contributors to keeping our young men and young women safe. They sacrifice and balance family, teaching, and every other phase of life to take care of our athletes. And we thank you, each one, from the bottom of our heart, because I know what a sacrifice each one of you make on a daily basis. Tonight, we'd like to recognize you both individually and as a group. But first of all, National Athletic Training Month is held every March in order to spread awareness about athletic trainers and what they do. During this month, athletic trainers across America are recognized for their commitment to helping people prevent injuries, stay healthy, and active. I'd like to ask, first of all, Ryan Davis to come up. Ryan, as you step forward, Ryan is currently at Hanahan High School as a nationally certified athletic trainer. He has been at Cross High School as well, and I think he's been with our district since 2008. I'm going to ask and recognize Ernie Drews second. Ernie, as you come up here, let me tell a little bit about Ernie. Ernie has been with us the last 18 years in Berkeley County. 12 years prior to then, he was with Conway High School. He's a nationally certified trainer. He's South Carolina Trainer of the Year in 2004, it was. North-South All-Star Football Trainer, head trainer, 2 different years, and Shrine Bowl head trainer for 1 year. Ernie is the dean so far of our athletic trainers in Berkeley County. Thank you, Ernie. Next, the youngster in the group, Garrett Welch, if you would make your way up here. A quick story about Garrett. Garrett is currently the certified trainer at Cane Bay High School. He's also served at Cross High School. Cross continues to call me and ask me about why can't Garrett come back? Why can't Garrett come back? So he's made a great impression on the folks out there. But I also wanted to share with you about Garrett. He's a graduate of Goose Creek High School, where Ernie is, and he played football for Goose Creek High School. But the influence in his life to be an athletic trainer and come back to Berkeley County was Ernie. So Garrett, thank you for coming back. And last, but certainly not least, a guy I reach out to on a regular basis to check what is current, what is high visibility, what things we need to be aware of. Mike Ryan at Stratford High School. He's been nominated 3 different times for South Carolina Trainer of the Year. He's been at Stratford 17 years. This is his 18th year, and we're fortunate to have him in our school district. Thank you, Mike. We have a few more trainers that weren't able to make it tonight, but they are equally as valuable to all of Berkeley County as these guys are. Guys, if you would come back up for one final picture.
Short one to the front, tall one to the back. Watch out if you're wrong.
That concludes our special recognitions for this evening, but we do have our Legacy Builders publication, so please, I encourage everybody to take a copy and read the outstanding things that are going on in Berkeley County School District. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, may I make a comment?
You may.
Do any of our honorees have family with them this evening? Could they stand and be recognized as well?
This is Mike Ryan's wife, Alice Ryan, and daughter, and this is Samantha Welch. This is Garrett Welch's wife.
Thank you. We want to thank you for supporting these educators. And the other comment I wanted to make is just to all the principals. I never want to miss an opportunity to thank all of you for what you do. It does not go unnoticed, and we're very proud of your accomplishments. And thank you for coming up here tonight so we could celebrate you again.
I would just like to say that as an old administrator and old coach in this county, when I would get to school in the morning, these guys are already there taking care of athletes. And when I would leave after ball games, they're still there taking care of athletes. So their days are long, long, long. And when Charlie said that they sacrifice a lot of family time and so forth, they do. And we just appreciate them. And I know that the athletes in this county are all the better for the work that they do. Anybody else?
Just want to say a word. Want to commend the principal for the great work that they're doing. It's good to see that you're closing the gap. So I hope that you continue to do that and continue to do good work that you're doing. Thank you.
Do they get to go home now?
Yeah, that would be the best part.
This would be a good time if any of you want to leave out. We're getting ready to go to our citizen comments.
Countdown to spring break, right?
Spring break is right around the corner.
Thank you.
As they are exiting, I will go over the citizen comment procedures. In order to conduct the meeting in an orderly and efficient manner, we ask that you honor the following guidelines. The stakeholder comments are welcome and encouraged. However, the board will not take any immediate action on public comments at this meeting. Any person wishing to address the board must register prior to the meeting. Comments must be regarding programs, policies, and procedures. Comments regarding complaints against employees other than district level executives or references to students other than the child of the speaker will not be heard in public session. Groups addressing the same topic should select one speaker. And to maximize the time, the comments will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. And the board has set aside a total of 30 minutes for all of the public comments. The board chair reserves a right to allot additional time or halt the public comments that do not adhere to the guidelines. Tonight we have one speaker, old friend Patricia Eckstein, having to talk about the Tanner Foster Creek Area Elementary School.
Good evening, Superintendent Blackburn, Chairman Hayes, and members of the board. We've missed being here, so we hope you're happy to see us too. We're very excited and, of course, very anxious for things to move forward with the Tanner Foster Creek Area School. We've been in touch with the people from Philip Simmons K-5 on the setup of their PTA. And they've given us a blueprint that's been successful for them, so we're very excited and looking forward to moving forward. We've also been watching all the activity up at Nexton and are very interested there between Philip Simmons K-5 and Nexton for what's in store for us at Tanner Foster Creek, as well as Fox Bank as that moves on. We have followed up on Brantley Thomas's presentation at the last meeting on the timeline and the funding. And at the March 8th City Council meeting, they announced that the school district had asked for a second extension, second month-long extension to complete due diligence. So the March 9th closing date that was announced at the February 2nd community input meeting, that hasn't taken place yet. So we are hopeful that everything is on track. We want to emphasize that we do think it's very, very important to have a second access out to, egress out to North Red, particularly in that location. And it's just one of the unique things to having a school built in a community that's already built up, rather than being in a new area such as out on Clements Ferry Road with the high school and the K-8 school, and even Nexton at the beginning of a new development. So we're hoping that everything is on track, and we are hoping that tonight's item 7D in executive session is to wrap up everything. We don't know if that's the school property for Tanner Foster Creek, but we certainly hope it is. We hope there's a closing date in April. And last but not least, I know some of the members are not here of the school naming committee, but Mr. Hayes, I understand you are on the committee, and Mrs. Schwab. We have 2 history books for you at their Bowen's Corner. And a lot of us, we haven't done a big wide sweep out to get feedback, but some of us are in favor of keeping that historical name and attaching it to the new school. It'll represent both Goose Creek and Hanahan as a historical anchor. And we'll mail the other ones to Kent Murray and Mac McQuillan. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And as soon as the property is closed on, then we will get that committee together.
Oh, yeah, and we want to take a picture at the closing.
Okay, moving on to agenda item number 8, items for action from the financial services. Mr. Thomas.
Chairman Hayes, Ms. Blackburn, members of the board, we have for you 5 items for action of bids and just a product of the season, kind of wrapping up the year. The first one is IFB 465 for a fire alarm inspection services, which will be a term contract for annual renewal. And we're asking that to be awarded to Fire and Life Safety America for $18,561.
All right, I move that we approve the IFB 465-1516 fire alarm inspection services to Fire and Life Safety America for a cost of $18,561 as presented by Mr. Thomas in Finance Agenda Item 8A. Do I have a second?
I second.
Do we have any discussion? Then all of those in favor of this motion, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Thank you. Our insurance company will like that. The next item is IFB 467 for MNRIV selective roof replacement. This is one building that houses a lot of expensive equipment, so we need to make sure that equipment is safe related to the roof. We'd like to award that to Team Craft Roofing out of North Charleston for $320,000, and that was part of the capital improvements that was approved.
Then I make a motion to approve IFB 467-1516 MNRIV selective roof replacement to Team Craft Roofing Incorporated for a cost of $320,000 as presented by Mr. Thomas in Finance Agenda Item 8B.
Second.
All right, we have a motion. It's been approved. It's been seconded. Do we have any discussion? Then all of those in favor of this motion, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Next invitation for bid is the renovation of the wastewater treatment plant at our facility services here. That was also on capital improvements and also as a safety thing as well to try to get DHEC approval and all that sort of. So we would like to award that to I was getting ready to say boot jack, but that's not it. To Associated Contractors White Roofing Incorporated for estimated cost of $48,000.
Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve IFB 468-1516 for the renovation of wastewater treatment plant to Associated Contractors White Roofing Incorporated for a cost of $48,000 as presented by Mr. Thomas and Finance Agenda Item 8C.
I second.
We have a motion to approve IFB 468, the renovation of the wastewater treatment plant to Associated Contractors White Roofing Incorporated for the cost of $48,000 as presented by Mr. Thomas in the Finance Agenda Item 8C. Do we have any discussion? Then all of those in favor of this motion, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Item D, RFP 466 for consultant for enrollment forecasting and facility planning. This was as a result of the growth study that was done by the Strom Thurmond Institute. This will allow for us to create models related to facilities and student enrollment to predict where we might need to put in schools for the future. So we ask for your approval to award this to Public Pathways for a cost of $42,800.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve RFP 466-1516, consultant for K-12 enrollment forecasting and facility planning to Public Pathways Incorporated for a cost of $42,800 as presented by Mr. Thomas in Finance Agenda Item 8D.
Second.
We have a motion, and it's been seconded. We have any discussion?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is this are we purchasing a computer model, or are we purchasing contract services
This
for
is, I
someone?
think, a computer model, right, Mr. Jackson, and it will allow, they'll teach us how to use it moving forward, so.
Right, so it's a combination of both, purchasing and consulting services, come in and do the assessment, and also leave us with software so that we can update our own, update the study that they left with us.
Thank you. I have one more question. Where are these funds coming from?
This will come from the capital funds that we get every year, not
Okay.
from the referendum, but capital improvement money that we get every year.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All right, then we've got the motion to approve RFP 466, consulting for enrollment forecasting and facility planning. All of those in favor of this motion, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Thank you. Now for Boot Jack. We have a RFP 469 for safety footwear program as a result of us receiving a safety grant from our workers' comp group. We're now able to start putting safety shoes in cafeteria and custodians and maintenance. So we wanted to have a mechanism to when we start getting more of those grant monies, we can start doing that. So we ask for your approval to award the safety footwear program to Boot Jack for $42,000 initial cost.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve RFP 469. That's 16 safety footwear program to the Boot Jack for a cost of $42,000 as presented by Mr. Thomas in Finance Agenda Item 8E.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion to approve IFP 469, the safety footwear program to the Boot Jack, for a cost of $42,000 as presented by Mr. Thomas in Finance Agenda Item 8E. Do we have any discussion?
Is this money coming from grants?
This will come from grants. It's also will help us reduce the trip, slips, and falls to get our premium down as well, but it is coming from that grant.
Is this a continuous
Yes, we
program?
apply for it every year.
Okay.
Yes.
And I think I read that it is for custodians and
Yes. And,
cafeteria.
Cafeteria, yeah.
Do they not have that now?
We started like trying to do it like a stipend so where they could go buy the shoe, but we wanted to have control of them actually getting the pair of shoes. So this is why we wanted to go this way. But yeah, they'll start getting sized and all that sort of thing.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All right, then all of those in favor of this motion, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Thank you,
Batting
Mr.
a
Chair.
thousand, right? All right, moving on to agenda item 9, Human Resources. Item for information, an HR update. Mrs. Dr. Levine.
Yes. Good evening, Board Chair Hayes, Superintendent Blackburn, and members of the board. I am delighted to stand before you this evening to give you our HR update to let you know where we have been and what we've done since the start of this school year. And you have this information in your packet, so I will just briefly talk about it, but I know you have all of this information, so I won't bore you with reading all of it to you. Sorry for the delay. Wait a minute, let me take this off. Well, if this doesn't work, I'll just use the clicker on the board if you don't mind, okay? Let's see if it does. Well, first of all, we know it's all about the people with the right abilities and having them in the right place at the right time. And we truly believe also that you hire for character and you train for skill, and the rest will go. And you all know what a wonderful job our instruction and accountability department does with our trainings, and then also with our evaluation office and what they do with the trainings as well. So they do a fabulous job. So just part of what we believe there. And as we recruit, we know that there are certain things that we also have to do in terms of our efforts. We know we have to provide support. We know there are issues in terms of things we have to handle with onboarding. And then also, if you look at the last one there, it's something that people tend to forget at times, and that is that you also have to look at how you conduct separations. Because at the end of the day, it is always our desire to leave those bridges intact as well. And next we have, where are we with hiring right now? Now this takes us all the way back to last year when we started with hiring in the spring. And the great thing I need you to look at that and see is, hey, 369 total individuals hired. Now remember, those aren't just new allocations that were awarded. That's the result of individuals who've left, some resigned, different places transferred to different positions. And within some of it, it's actually people who've gone from one position in the district to another position in the district. So our total there, we want you to know that we are not sitting around at the pool and relaxing, that we are working to get individuals hired and to have the best people in place to work with our children across the district. Something else that's wonderful for you to know, 3 vacancies. That is what we're posting right now in terms of special education. And that is the result of course, you know, sometimes people leave at different times during the year. They may relocate with a spouse and move, but this should also say something to you, especially when you look back at that previous slide with the number of individuals that we hired. So that's a great thing, and we're really excited about that. And we also need to keep in mind that with that, we have substitutes who are certified substitutes in the classrooms with our children and working with them on a consistent basis. So even when we don't have the positions filled there by individuals who we've personally hired, we do have an agency that we go to and we work with them to make sure we have great people in the classrooms with our children. And this slide reinforces something that you already know. Bus drivers, bus drivers, bus drivers. We need lots of them, and we need people in other areas too. And as you look at the numbers that we hired there and with our pending hires, we want you to know that this is something that's just ongoing. It's continuous, and we're constantly advertising and trying to get all of those positions filled as well. So it's always a work in progress. We also give out intent forms in the month of February so that we will know for the upcoming school year the individuals who plan to come back and those who don't plan to come back. This gives us a starting point at which we can work to see which areas we need to focus on for the upcoming school year. And you can see the numbers there that we have thus far. And I have to tell you, this isn't where it's all going to end now, because we'll give out contracts next month, and then there will be some other individuals who won't return the contracts, and we will know as a result of that at how many true vacancies we have as a result of individuals who are relocating or who won't be returning to the classroom in those areas. And here's just a list of some places that we went over the course of this year. And you'll see there that we also focus on, because we're looking for diversity within our district as well. So you'll see that there are certain places that we go. And of course, the third bullet that you see there, the 23 South Carolina independent colleges and universities, because the smaller colleges like Benedict College, for example, they don't necessarily have a recruitment fair of their own. So there's a group, and they do that as a whole group. But you also see on there some other schools that are on the list that we've also gone to this year. And these are some of the upcoming recruitment fairs that we have as well, for Francis Marion Coastal and then the South Carolina Expo, where we can see a number of schools. And we wanted to show you some information as well, but wait a minute, I think I went a little bit too far. The numbers. We recently held our teacher recruitment fair on March the 12th, and we were delighted. We had over 300 teacher candidates who attended that event. And of the 300, the great news, we were able to actually clear a third of them, so about 199 district interviews that happened as far as clearance interviews goes. And then we are still in the process, the other about 100 that's left, we get them in on a daily basis to get them cleared so that we can make them accessible to our principals across the district. And now here are just a few pictures from the fair. It just wants to go up. There's some few pictures from the fair. Our principals do an awesome job. And I also wanted to mention to you that they also help us recruit, because as we go on some of those recruitment trips, they travel with us and help us to also let people know just how wonderful Berkeley County School District is. They're very inviting, and they did a wonderful job. It was just a pleasure. And we also had a spot, I believe it was on Channel 2 News, that highlighted the recruitment fair. So we have some great things going on, and that's just our update for this year and what we've done thus far. So just some great displays, and we really enjoyed, and we consider it an honor and a privilege to serve. Any questions?
Great work.
Thank you.
I was, I stopped by and checked out what was going on, and I mean, people were everywhere, and smiles, and for people to be out on a Saturday, you know, putting their time in like that. But it was very, very interesting to see all of the people out there, and the beautiful displays. Every school, you know, just it was just beautiful. It was wonderful.
Thank you.
And I thank you all for being out there on a Saturday like that.
And the elementary displays, especially that were in the hallway, they compete against each other from time to time to see who gets the best display. And I'll tell you what, they all got an A+, and the middle schools and high schools as well.
Yep. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Moving on to agenda item number 10, instruction and accountability. An item for action, the second reading of the spring 2016 textbook adoptions of science, social studies, career, and technology education. Dr. O'Gorman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Ms. Blackburn, ladies and gentlemen. On March 8th, I brought before you this same list of textbooks for first reading. I'm bringing back K2 Social Studies, 4-5 Social Studies, United States Government for Advanced Placement, Civics, K5 Science, Biology, and a list of career and technology education textbooks, all of which are on display in the back of the room. One of the questions was asked last time about the large textbooks. We do have electronic versions of them available for the student. Lots of online files with books nowadays. It's pretty standard procedure. So I submit to you this same list for second reading tonight.
Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the second and final reading of textbooks for adoption as submitted by Dr. O'Gorman in Agenda Item 10.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the second and final reading of the textbooks for adoption as submitted by administration in Agenda Item 10. It's been seconded. Is there any discussion? And at this time, we'll vote. All those in favor of approving this motion, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Got your books, Dr. O'Gorman.
Thank you.
Moving on to agenda item 11, the superintendent's report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I have only good news tonight, so I'm going to share, first of all, that someone that is going to be a loss for us has a wonderful opportunity, and so I'm going to present it as good news. But I'd like to just remind the board that tonight is Connie Meyer's last meeting with us. And Connie, stand, if you would, please. I want to thank you for your great service to our school district. I say it's good news because Connie's had a great opportunity to leave a mark, an indelible mark here in Berkeley County. And not only that, she now has a wonderful opportunity to go and be near her daughter, I believe in Washington State or someplace way out there. So I'm very sorry to lose you, but I just wish you the best and know that it's a wonderful opportunity for you and your family. So thank you so much. The next good news I'd like to share is that we are on a 3-day countdown to spring break, so don't look for us next week, just in case. And finally, I would like to just comment on a very special event that I went to on Saturday evening. Reverend Barnes was there as well. So was Archie Freeman and his administrative assistant, Kim Glaze. But J.K. Gordon has a wonderful group called the Dad's Club. And the Dad's Club there is very invested in creating opportunities for the young folks at JK to have positive role models. And this was the 3rd year that they've done a banquet to raise funds for an additional playground at JK. It was wonderfully attended. Everyone dressed and eager to be a part of the JK cheerleading squad. And, I was delighted to be a part of the program. That's my report.
Thank you. Moving on to agenda item number 12, the executive session. Do I have a motion to move into executive session?
Mr. Chair, I move that we move into executive session to hear 4 student attendance appeals, 2 student expulsion appeals, a discussion of pending employment matters, and a discussion of a contractual matter relative to property.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion to go into executive session to hear 4 student appeals, 2 student expulsion appeals, a discussion of pending employment matters, and contractual matter involving property. It's been seconded. Do I have any discussion? Then all of those in favor of this motion, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. And we are in executive session.